Hi, Paul Vunak here. I'd like to start off telling you guys a story, just so you understand where my mind is in this year of 2018. About a year and a half ago, I went up north to do some work. I did some farming up there. I bought a house up there, and the idea was to do an investment for our company. So I started growing my plants, and we did this for about a year. And the time that I was up there working real hard was the toughest time of my life. And the whole idea was to do this for our company, because Dan Anasano asked me in 1983, he looked into my eyes and said, "It is up to you to perpetuate Bruce Lee's art. Not just you, but you're one of them. You're one of the main guys. And how you choose to do this is going to be up to you." Dan explained to me about the Filipino mindset and how he believed that God has already destined everybody's destiny. Okay? God has already laid the road work for everything. So it's up to you. And I believe in my heart, that this is my destiny, and I believe it's your destiny to help keep this art alive for Bruce. So we're going to go back to me being in that garage. And when my heart was lowest, and I called up a few of my friends and we talked and they helped me out. One of my friends was Lawrence Garcia. And he said, "Sifu, I'm going to send you something in the mail." Okay? And he sent me in the mail a cross. Now, I'm not one. I'm to wear paraphernalia. That's just, when I was married, I didn't even wear a wedding ring. Okay? But I was pretty desperate and crying and wondering what's going on here. And I'm not a farmer, and I'm trying to do this for my business to keep my word to Dan Anasano. And I put that cross on, and I fell asleep that night in my bed. And next to my bed is a propane heater. And in the middle of the night, that thing was driving me crazy. It was like, and it woke me up. And I went to turn, and my thumb got stuck in it. So I got up in the middle of the night at 3 in the morning, and I put that cross down. When I returned back to my bed, it was on fire. Completely. One of the cats must have bumped the butane heater that I would sleep by every night, and my bed went up in 3 seconds. So you can view that however you want it, but it changed my life that day, and it reinforced to me that God put me on this place for a reason, and I believe each one of you have the same destiny. Now I'd like to rewind to 1988. SEAL Team 6, then called Dev Group, flew me in to live in Virginia. I got a contract from 1988 to 1991. I spent 4 years in Virginia. The time that I was there, the definition of my job duty was to teach folks in SEAL Team 6 how to neutralize the opponent. That's a nice way for kill. Okay? And sometimes you can't neutralize the opponent because you're empty hand. So we have to have a way to neutralize the opponent empty hand as quickly as possible. Okay? So all I knew to do was fight the way I fought my whole life. The 3 most important things that Dan Anasano has ever taught me is you don't have to kickbox with somebody. If you're doing destructions or you're poking their eyes and kicking their balls, you don't have to trade. The second most important thing that man ever taught me was the straight blast, of course, or the MMA blitz now. And the third thing he taught me was the straight blast might not take out the baddest guy on the planet, but the clinch with headbutts, knees, and elbows will. So it was logical to me to put those 3 things together and fight with them, and that's how I used to spar all the time. So when I went to SEAL Team 6, that's what I did. I sparred with folks. Okay? Didn't have many problems until one person came along. This fellow's name was Pat Bagley. And nobody knows this story. Few people. But Pat Bagley, 6'2", heavyweight boxer, had 57 fights His record was 56-1. These were heavyweight fights in the Navy. He's a super sweet guy, and he's in counterintelligence, which is a brainy division of the Marines, and they work in conjunction with SEAL Team 6. So when Bags finally came by and I got a chance to spar with him, and that's when everybody was watching. Everybody. And he beat the living shit out of me. I couldn't do a thing with this guy. 10 minutes I sparred. He must have knocked me down 15 times. I got back up. I had a broken nose, broken jaw, 2 cracked ribs. So when my sparring match was over, I was on my way home. I was like dejected. People are watching me. I took my gloves off. I said, hey, I'm sorry guys, I did my best. That whole team grabbed me like it was a surprise birthday party. They all started giggling and laughing and saying, this is Bagley. We don't give a shit about what you just said. What interests us is your heart, your mind, and your balls. So after getting my ass kicked, the military accepted me. So right then and there, I said to myself, I'll never, ever, ever let these guys down. We created this thing called a R.A.T, Rapid Assault Tactics. So now the year is 1991. I certified Frank Cucci, Pat Trey, and Pat Bagley, the guy that beat my ass. I left Virginia. I certified those guys as full instructors to take over and then just fly me down once a year so I don't have to live in Virginia anymore. When I got home, I decided I'm going to teach this R.A.T to civilians. And I came up with what's called an Intensive Personal Training Program, IPTP. I charged $1,000 in a weekend for that. And I made fighters. And when I started off, oh my God, people went ape shit. You can't make an instructor in 2 days. I'm not. I'm making an apprentice instructor in 2 days. You can't turn somebody into a fighter in 2 days. Really? Really? Check out SEAL Team 6. So the litany of objections that we got, $1,000 for 2 days, and in 1988 that was a big price. I said, yeah, that's the price for 2 days. Okay? Now, 30 years later, that R.A.T program is the most successful program on God's earth. It is the most ubiquitous program in the military. Okay? These aren't my techniques. These are Bruce Lee's and Dan Anasanos and Hickson Gracie's, the Gracie brothers. Okay? I am just the conduit. So over the last 30 years, I have been asked over and over and over again, can you come up with a R.A.T for the clinch? How about a R.A.T for the ground? How about a R.A.T for weapons? Not just an empty hand R.A.T. So we did. And this is our final permutation of how we did it. The R.A.T program coming up in October is the clinch ground R.A.T. There is another program, another new one, called energy drills and weapons. So we're putting clinch and ground together as one R.A.T. Energy drills and weapons together as one R.A.T. That's 2. And then the only other R.A.T is the original R.A.T that we put together with the Golden Goose. These are the 3 programs that we're going to be using for the military. The most asked was the clinch ground, so that's why we're doing that one next. Now stay with me. Now let's talk about what I consider important in the martial arts and what I don't consider important. Magazine covers, big deal. Anybody can do that, okay? Videos, anybody can make videos. That kind of shit's unimportant, okay? What is important is how your customers feel about you. What is important is their visceral response when you're done with them. I don't consider myself some kind of a MMA star, okay? I'm a teacher. That's the gift God gave me, is to teach. I can make fighters, okay? So what is important to me is how my students feel about me. And how they feel about you is usually contained in what's called a letter of appreciation. So if you want to know if you have any thought as to, is something going to work in the future? My recommendation is look at the past and see if it's worked already. So in the last 30 years, I have taught the R.A.T to 17 government agencies, including but not limited to DEA, FBI, CIA, SEAL Team 6. I mean, it goes on and on and on. This isn't me bragging. It's not even my art, it's Dan's. It's Bruce Lee's. It's the Gracie brothers. I am the conduit. But anybody we teach this R.A.T to, they love it. So if you want to know if our future R.A.T is going to work, if you want to know in a business sense if you're going to make money off the future R.A.T, because this is business we're talking about, then look at the previous R.A.T. The previous R.A.T has made, I have close to 1,000 full instructors. And each one of those full instructors have made tens of thousands of dollars over the last 30 years teaching the R.A.T. Teaching that $1,000 weekend. So if you want to look at the next R.A.T coming up and how well we're going to do, look at the last R.A.T. So I would humbly ask that you sit back for a little bit and just watch and see what the agencies and military bases that we've worked with, the admirals, the generals, the police officers, the mayors, everybody that we've worked with, please take a moment and see what they have to say about us. And I'll get right back to you.
Commander, Naval Special Warfare Development Group. You were employed by this command on a number of occasions since 1987 for your expertise and knowledge in the field of combative hand-to-hand fighting. Unlike most law enforcement techniques, which use restraint when faced with a life-threatening circumstance, your aggressive art is designed to quickly neutralize a threat in a life-and-death situation. You are one of a number of martial artists that were considered for the job. You were chosen not only because of your ability to teach, but your ability to apply your art as well. Some instructors considered were more well-known, but none were better than you. We appreciate the quality of your training and the benefit we received both collectively and individually. Thank you for a superb job. Commander, U.S. Navy. Commander, Naval Special Warfare Group 2. Among the objectives in Naval Special Warfare training is the standardization of all SEAL Team training. Up to 1 year ago, yet to be validated and institutionalized as an essential SEAL warfighting skill, was hand-to-hand combat training. City of Frankfurt Police Department. First and foremost, I cannot say thank you enough for your visit here to our city. From both a professional and personal perspective, this is without question the finest training I have attended in over 15 years of military and civilian law enforcement experience. I can't express my gratitude enough. Your system is the only one I know for professional law enforcement officers that adequately spans the spectrum from encountering the non-resisting offender to resolving a potential life-threatening situation. I would absolutely, without hesitation, recommend you and your system to any law enforcement agency, professional, or private individual serious about providing the finest training available or defending themselves and their loved ones. Department of Defense, Western Hemisphere Institute for Security Cooperation. Thank you for the outstanding training you provided on Friday in San Clemente and throughout the retreat at Lake Isabella. It was a very interesting, enjoyable, and useful experience. The instruction was excellent, and I was impressed with the concepts and techniques of progressive fighting systems. The high spirits and camaraderie you shared with your instructors and students was clearly evident. Hialeah Police Department. You trained over 80 officers, including our SWAT team and officers from other jurisdictions. The overall response from officers who attended the training was positive, and it created a great amount of confidence in dealing with close-quarter subject encounters and ground fighting techniques. The material covered was outstanding, and you made the class extremely enjoyable. Your instructing ability to train the patrol officers and SWAT team was outstanding. San Diego Regional Public Safety Training Institute. Usually when we have such presentations by notable combative defense experts, they fall short of relating to the needs of our group. Most experts will present something in the way of technique intended to impress our instructor group. The problem with this mentality is the fact that our needs are in simplicity and a quick learning curve for the basic law enforcement officer. Your presentation method of teaching training drills for attribute acquisition is excellent, and the techniques are simple enough for our basic trainees to learn. Your program meets the criteria of simple and effective. Departments of the Army and the Air Force, National Guard Bureau. We are pleased to present to you this letter of appreciation. Your skill in martial arts is widely renowned. In preparation for deployment, our staff decided it would be of great value to improve our skill and confidence in hand-to-hand combatives. The skills you taught were both easy to learn and highly effective. United States Marine Corps. Due to the ever-increasing need of highly trained Marines deployed throughout the world as part of the global war on terrorism, it has become necessary to train and sustain the individual Marine for an ever-increasing level of readiness for future conflicts to come. The Marine Corps Martial Arts Program has become the program to help realize the potential of every Marine as a proficient warrior in hand-to-hand combat tactics. I have personally trained with Paul Vunak for a period of over 3 years. I have found his techniques to be among the best in the world in regards to the science of hand-to-hand conflict and fighting. Department of the Air Force. Your aggressive combat system is designed to quickly neutralize a threat in a life-and-death situation and was designed with simplicity in mind. Your instruction was chosen not only because of your years of combative experience and familiarity with the military, but also due to your ability to teach. City of Houston Police Department. Your knowledge, experience, and willingness to teach others are second to none. The enthusiasm you showed and the way you care for your students was highly impressive. The training methodology was realistic and conducive for any encounter I or others may face. United States Capitol Police. I would like to thank you for training me in hand-to-hand combat tactics and street fighting. Your training concepts were easy to learn and are the most practical self-defense program that I have ever participated in. It is an honor to become one of Progressive Fighting Systems' certified instructors. As a special agent for the United States Capitol Police Department Dignitary Protection Division, it is imperative that I maintain myself physically and mentally during every assignment. I feel that the combat techniques learned at Progressive Fighting Systems, combined with my prior law enforcement training, makes me confident in my ability to defend myself or others in almost any situation. Department of Justice, U.S. Marshals Service. I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you for the great CEI seminar you held in November of 2006. Your teaching skills are to be commended as the senior DT instructor, an SRT member, and an active reserve Marine. The attention to detail in your explanations throughout the course simplified my understanding of the PFS system. I am proud to say that the R.A.T system is now being implemented throughout the district. West Palm Beach Police Department. Your program is intense, thorough, and thought-provoking. During the month of August of 2009, I was able to incorporate your training with a ground encounter seminar that I had instructed to members of the West Palm Beach Police Department. I included the R.A.T program as well as many of the other valuable tools that were taught by you. The program was well received by all of the participants. It has been requested that I incorporate the R.A.T program in future training sessions.
Now let's talk about the business end of this. There are two ways that you can make money. You can teach the R.A.T to the hundreds of thousands of military bases on planet Earth. You can teach it to the government agencies. You can teach it to the police departments, the DEA. There's nobody you can't teach it to. So you have the ability to teach it to the military. When you do that, there's a possibility to get a six-digit figure from the military. We have friends right now making over $100,000 per year teaching the military. Okay? And this is possible to do. But you have to show the right certification, and then you have to have the right wherewithal. You're going to have to give a demonstration, and you're going to have to show your chops. But with this Clinch R.A.T certificate, there's a possibility you can teach any of the 100,000 agencies in government and military and make a six-figure digit. Now the other way is to make instructors. There are 50 people only in this new R.A.T. I'm not going to let 1,000 full instructors in. I'm just not going to do that. Okay? So any mistakes I made in the R.A.T that I did in the last 30 years, I'm not going to make again. And a few of these mistakes are as follows. And so this new R.A.T is going to have rules. Number one, with the new R.A.Ts we do, nobody's going to change it. Nobody's going to improve my R.A.T. Don't come along and tell me I stuck this to this and that to that and I improved it. That's real sweet, but I don't want no improvements. I want the R.A.T that I'm teaching. Okay? So number one, if you get certified in my R.A.T, you don't touch that thing. You leave it alone. You want to show me your creativity, do it in some other part of your martial art, but not in that program. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, when you get certified for this, you have to charge $3,000 per person. That is everything. Because I'm going to have 50 people. So if number 49 is charging $2,000 and the other 49 are charging $3,000, he's undercutting them, and that's not fair. So the two ways to make money are you can get a six-figure digit figure from the military, or you can teach people and make instructors. And if you teach 30 people in 1 year, that's $90,000. If you run an IPTP and run an advertisement for a month, and you properly advertise, and you get 4 people interested, that's $12,000. You might be poking at this government agency and poking at this military base and get no response. A year goes by, and then they call you up and they say, come on down. And you might already have 15 or 20 people, and then you could get another six-digit figure from these guys. So the way to make money at this is the full instructors, and I'm only letting 50 in, will be able to make other instructors. The lexicon is going to be different, but that's the main thing. And the other way is to go straight to the agencies and make your money. So digest that, and I'll be right back. Now, in closing, let's talk about the business end. The fee for the seminar is $3,000. The price of one student. Okay? If you pay at the door, you get a $500 discount. So that's $2,500. We have a payment plan. If you pay 3 months, you pay $1,000 per month. That's one payment plan. So you don't get the $500 discount if you go on the payment plan. It's $3,000, $1,000 a month. If that won't work for you, we have a third payment plan. $300 for the entire year. Now, to make me wait for a year is going to cost you an extra $600. $300 times 12 is $3,600. So you're either going to do payment plan number 1. You're going to pay at the door or up front, and you're going to get a $500 discount. You're going to do payment number 2, and you're going to pay $3,000, $1,000 per month. Or you're going to do payment number 3, $300 a month for 12 months. Now, there's got to be a bunch of other questions you guys are going to ask me. I have no problem with that. You know me. You got my home phone number, 760-822-2197. Any questions you have, call me up. Anything. Make the martial art questions. Because if it's computer, PayPal, business stuff, shoot that over to my Director of Operations, Chris Moran. If you have any questions, how do I pay? How does my PayPal work? If you want to ask me about headbutts, call me. If you want to ask about business, call Chris. Chris's phone number, 646-431-5733. Call him late at night too. Oh, and if you're going to do any prank calls, make them interesting at least. Okay? So that's the last thing. If you want to get up on my website, every single thing that I have said to you is going to be up on www.vunak.com/JKD Seminar-2018. Got it? Everything I said will be up there. Got any questions? Call me. Got any business questions? Call Chris. With that, I'm going to say goodnight.
Hi, I'm Paul Vunak. Hi, I'm Paul Vunak.
Hi, I'm Paul Vunak.
Now, as you notice, Joe could have been a better fighter than me. I don't know. I never gave him that chance. When you teach police officers, you can't put them on the same ground as the average suspect. The average guy out there is going to punch and kick. That's what they do. We need to have a different game plan. We need to have a way to intercept the punch, get in, straight blast, headbutt, knee, and elbow, pick up a knife, ground fight. The main message that I want to convey to people is to be able to keep a cool head. And if you can keep a cool head under pressure, see, if you could only tell this to captains, if you could only say, look, if you teach your guys how to use deadly force appropriately, and if you teach them how to put on the choke the right way, and if you teach them how to headbutt and knee and elbow and eye jab, they're going to be less likely to hurt people. Seems like a paradox.
If you let him pull away soon, right away, it's too soon and there's not enough damage done to him. If you hang on forever, that's not your goal. You want to get him off you. So what you want to do is you want to hang on for about 5 to 10 seconds. That'll be sufficient in removing half his face. So when you're here, and then you let him pop up to here. Now I just sit up and I thrust my hip to continue the fight again.
So if you listen, ba-ba-bow, okay, I'm getting all 3 beats. Again, please. Ba-ba-boom. Okay? That's the same thing with the double stick. Now, from my bite, if he oopas me, and most big, strong men are going to oopa you.
Break. Now, if you'll notice, he's just as fucked as he was 2 seconds ago.
As the Kung Fu master has to have his weapon near him. So we keep the weapon right here from this posture. Got a commission. I can teach you how to do that. I'm where you're at. Right there, sitting down. I'd like to reiterate to you why we bring so much violence to the table. Because it's not in my heart. In my heart is love and compassion. And my heart is to try to give back. When I do tapes and I'm working with a SEAL team and I have to bite and eye gouge all day long, it takes me an hour to shake that off. It takes me an hour to play my music and get back to my norm. So why do we do it? And the reason is, if you know you have a 45 here, and you know you can evoke that much violence, you have a self-confidence that is unbelievable. And if you have that self-confidence that is unbelievable, you can walk through life with more love and compassion. And when you meet some asshole that bumps into you, flips you off, cusses at you, you can smile, you can laugh, and you can just go the other direction. You see, it's very easy to teach killers how to kill. That's what I do. The military are killers, and that's what I've been doing my whole life. But try to teach a child with a disability how to transmute the shame of his hand into self-love. And when you can do that, that's a feeling that is beyond anything I could ever describe to you. And I can only say that if you're real good at the violence, you'll be able to do that.
When I'm here, the minute I hit the arm, bam, that's what would make me bend that arm in a fight is the fact that I actually landed that shot in the nerve, and I actually took the eye. So if we do happen to miss that and miss that, okay, boom, and I can't get that, boom, then I just come back up and wrench it on this side. Now that headbutt becomes a lot easier. Now remember, the jab comes in, between this and this is one beat. Okay, we got that far. We put the half beat in here, which is still bleeding. Okay, so this is as far as we've gotten. So right here is my last shot. Now I can consider this a beat and this a beat. Okay, and then this and this and this can be a beat. So the rhythm can be bam, 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 bam. Okay, that can all be one flow. Or I can go 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7. And make it will be an occasion in which you're tipped a little bit this way, and and that jab comes, and it's easier for you to take it this way. And if you fortify that with footwork, as the jab comes, bam, that's right in the eye. Boom, and then I just come with a double shot here. Now notice when I hit that, that's boom, that's my arm wrench. The arm wrench has got to be there. Now the shoulder's just looking at me, boom, here. If I want to get nasty, I just shove up here, boom, and take the throat. Now I'm just going to wrap the neck, and I'm going to fall. I'm just going to basically pile drive right on the cement. As I pile drive the head on the cement, I'm going to wrap the legs and squeeze.